flight simulation. It's passion, it's dedication, it's an obsession. For years I've been soaring through virtual skies, navigating complex airways and landing on runways all around the world. My journey began with basic setups, but over time the evolution of hardware has transformed my flight simulation experience. In the beginning, it was just a simple joystick and a modest computer. Back then, the graphics were rudimentary and the controls, well, they were quite basic. But even then, the thrill of flight was undeniable. Every takeoff, every landing, every successful mission filled me with a sense of achievement. Every sortie, every maneuver, every mission brought a rush of adrenaline and a sense of accomplishment. It wasn't just about flying, it was about mastering the intricacies of aerial combat and strategic operations. As the years went by, my equipment evolved, upgrading to a HOTAS hands-on throttle and stick, complete with pedals, and the throttle quadrant brought a new level of realism. Suddenly, I could feel the aircraft response to my every input, the force of the throttle, and the precision of the rudder pedals. With the latest flight simulation software, the visuals are stunningly lifelike. From the detailed cockpits to the realistic terrains and dynamic weather systems, every element is meticulously crafted to mirror the real world. Looking back at my early days, it's incredible to see the progress. The immersion is unparalleled, making every mission feel as real as it gets. The aircraft systems are sophisticated, the enemy AI is challenging, and the tactical depth is immense. This graphical advancement demanded significant upgrades to my PC, new motherboards, processors, memory, and especially powerful graphics cards. After using TrackIR for some years, I decided to take a significant step forward. My dream was always to have a full-scale cockpit with every switch and button functional, but it's extremely expensive and limited in terms of view. Unless you have 3 or 4 projectors, you can't achieve 360 degrees of freedom. This is where VR came into my life. The first VR headset I bought was the Oculus Rift S. It was the first that truly caught my attention and convinced me to dive into VR. The first time I saw myself in the cockpit of a fighter jet was incredibly intense and breathtaking. The sense of presence and immersion was unmatched, but it was also challenging at first. The initial experience had poor image quality and horrible frame rates, which caused a lot of motion sickness. Despite these issues, the immersion was so compelling that I decided to persevere. I started training myself to get used to VR. The exercise was simple: fly until motion sickness set in, then stop and rest until it subsided. Gradually, I extended my flying session as my tolerance improved. Fly, rest, repeat. After acclimating to VR, nothing could stop me. The experience of flying became incredibly immersive and realistic. At this point, what I needed was more power and better image quality, so I decided to upgrade to the Quest 2. It was a significant improvement in visual quality compared to the Rift S, but the very low battery life was a big drawback. Anyway, it helped me dive into virtual reality and learn how it works. At this point, VR visuals had improved, but performance was still lacking. I was using an RTX 2080 Ti, and it was starting to become outdated. So, finally, I took the plunge and bought a 4090 graphics card. This was a real leap forward in both visual quality and performance. With the 4090, I was able to flight through the middle of New York in Microsoft Flight Simulator with impressive performance. I could increase frame rates and graphics settings everywhere. Everything was more realistic and performant, but the visual quality of the headset was not up to par. I was searching for a headset that could give me a clear image, and at that time I thought it was impossible to get rid of that annoying screen door effect. But I was wrong.
Lights on. Spike, 1 o'clock. And whoa, Spike, 12 o'clock. Target, 8 miles. There are bandits, SU-27, 1 o'clock. 3 miles, 450. Missile launch, 6 o'clock low. Hot. Splash, 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 splash.
Today I'm flying with the latest Pimax headsets, the Crystal and now the Crystal Lite. This was another leap forward, as I mentioned in some of my videos. These headsets not only removed the screen door effect and provided a crystal clear image, but also improved performance thanks to dynamic and fixed foveated rendering. This journey is not cheap, but don't get me wrong, I'm not a millionaire. If I were, I'd be flying a real jet. These upgrades happened over the years, one careful step and paycheck at a time. Each enhancement was a labor of love, reflecting my dedication to improving my flight simulation experience without completely emptying my wallet. In fact, I saved money because if I consider how much I would have spent on my original dream of a full-scale cockpit, I've actually saved a lot. This is something that anybody can do. I believe the most important factor is how deep your passion for flight or racing is. This passion justifies the amount of money I've spent and keeps me motivated to continue upgrading. I want to invite you to check out the latest event from Pimax named "When is the Golden Era of PC VR?" because it contains very important information for VR enthusiasts about the future of PC VR. Plus, you can spin and win a 30-day free trial giveaway for the Crystal Lite headset. Follow the link in the description. I hope you found this video useful and especially inspirational. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and leave a comment. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao!